Man, just when I thought we could have a Tua drama-free day today, a former Miami Dolphins assistant coach has to come out and trash the offense. What? Oh, it is. It is another episode of Donno Daily here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Do us a solid, whether you're watching us live on Friday, the 3rd of June, year of our Lord 2022. Is that what year it is right now? I think so. Whether you're watching us live or you watch us later on via replay, and I hope you're watching us live because it's not like you're outside right now. Anyone watching us from South Florida, that's where I am originating from. The weather has just sucked all day. So if you're, watching us while it's raining or you watch us later on, do us a favor, smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to 5 Reasons Sports on YouTube. So let's bring on our good pal, Hussam Patel. Now, I made sure I gave Hussam some homework right before the show because somebody tipped me off to it this morning. I wasn't listening to it live. I love the show, though. The Joe Rose Show with Zach Krantz on 560. I've guest hosted that show a handful of times in recent months, and Joe is awesome. And they had a guest on today, former longtime Miami Dolphins special teams coordinator. You got to be a little older than Hussam to remember the Mike Westhoff era. I respect the hell out of Mike Westhoff. I respect the hell out of him, even though he spent a long time with the New York Jets as well. I still love Mike Westhoff. So he was out.
Is he like my generation's Darren Rizzi?
Better, like Mike. I mean, more because, and also the team was just better during the time because he was there during the Dan Marino years. So like the team was just better while Mike Westhoff was there, but the special teams were also damn good when Westhoff was there. So like, yeah, I mean, I guess the only equivalent for your generation would be Darren Rizzi because that was a pretty beloved Dolphin special teams coach. But for those of us like in our, 30s, late 30s, like me, 40s, 50s, you're like, yeah, Mike Westhoff, that is a guy. Like that is a guy that we remember and we respect. So he was invited out to practice yesterday, minicamp. And from the way it was described by Joe Rose in the interview, he was hanging out with his pal Dan Marino. They go back to the days when Marino played with the Dolphins, and so like Joe and Zach, they ask and I don't know what they were expecting him to say. Like I don't know if Joe maybe talked to Mike privately. He's like, "Oh, this is going to be interesting," but it sounded like they kind of just like teed up Mike Westhoff, probably expecting him to say, "Oh, yeah, everything's great. Tua looks awesome. Mike McDaniel, really good. I love this guy." But Joe asks him, "Hey, what did you think about practice on Thursday?" And Westhoff unloaded. He said it was a terrible display of offensive football.
It was atrocious.
He said it was atrocious.
Terrible display of offensive football. Nothing like he's ever seen. But guys, this is mandatory minicamp we're fucking talking about here. Mandatory minicamp. Now, look, I don't expect the offense to be like crazy good or even good at all. They're installing a brand new offense.
Yeah.
With most of the same pieces who are in a different system. So
right.
Westhoff
and a lot of new pieces who were
and a lot of new pieces too, who only a few of them were in the new system that they're installing. But Westhoff basically described the offense was missing their keys, players not in their right stances, not in their right spots. I mean, last year in the beginning of the season, some of the Dolphins players weren't even in the right spots in the game either.
Right. They were running into each other.
They were running into each other in game. Now that's an atrocity. Mandatory minicamp. They're installing a new office. Like, come on, like you cut them just a little bit of slack. They're new. They're brand new. Now, I get it. Mike Westhoff is the old school, minicamp has to be this way. It's got to be this certain low. We got to follow this schedule. We have to do this. Football has changed from the 1980s and the 2000s. We're in the 2020 era, man. Practice is completely different. There's no two-a-days anymore. It's one-a-days.
Yeah.
You mandatory minicamps and OTAs. You don't have pads anymore. You can't have contact. You can't do a lot of things. What people did back in Mike Westhoff's day. So some of the comments he made were a little bit valid, but coaches take these things and go into OTAs or have another camp of hashing this out. They go into the film like, hey, you missed this. This is what needs to happen, and they correct it off the field as well. So I feel like, if it truly was something bad, we would have heard it from the other beat reporters and writers as well.
Are you saying the beat reporters know more than decades of experience NFL coach Mike Westhoff? I'm not sure. I'm not so sure they do.
I'm not saying that they do, but we would hear about it. We know the first day was god awful for the offense. We know that for sure. We saw the tweets. We heard the press conference as well. But we heard from Mike McDaniel himself and the other coaches and Tua himself that practice was much, much better, much cleaner. They cleaned some of the things up as when they got better at it. Practice, doing consecutive practices in minicamp or OTAs, you're supposed to be better than the last day, not get worse.
Right.
And it's minicamp. I'm not going to put a lot of thought or energy or effort into what minicamp looked like. They're just getting the guys back into shape and back to what they were used to in August and September.
And Mike, he also singled out Tua a little bit because he did say, and it's funny, and I wasn't at practice yesterday. Most of the reviews that I heard were very positive, especially positive about Tua, that he hit a couple of very impressive, I think for lack of a better word, I think that word works here, deep balls to Tyreek Hill. That was one of the big things being talked about after practice, was Tua hitting a couple of deep balls to, the guy who's going to be his number one receiver this coming year. Take what Westhoff says with a grain of salt. Brooklyn Rob says, I'm surprised at his age he found the facility. Oh, man. Okay,
that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You're an asshole for that, man.
Well, listen, no, Brooklyn Rob, he is a stern defender of QB1. If anyone says something negative about QB1, Brooklyn Rob will find whatever reason possible to discredit that person. But Westhoff specifically said, he wasn't impressed with the downfield passing. He could count on one hand the amount of downfield passes that were completed. And he even, I don't know if you caught the comment that he made, Hussam, because it was I think even Westhoff realized when he said, oh, this is kind of mean. But he said, because he was talking about how he watched practice with Dan Marino. He's like, I know it wasn't Dan Marino out there, and this guy will never be Dan Marino. He said it very, very matter of factly. This will never be Dan Marino. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Westhoff is not a big Tua Tagovailoa fan.
Here's the thing about downfield passing, right? And Alpha and I talked about this in our show yesterday for the Scouting Combine. If you guys weren't able to watch that yesterday at 6, but it's on playback on the 5 Reasons Network on YouTube. Make sure you guys give us a thumbs up on that show. Give us a like and some donations here on Donno Daily. But look, the way the scheme is set up, it's more intermediate passes first, then short passes, then deep shots. Now,
Right.
I don't know if outside zone scheme or West Coast was a big thing in the late 80s, early 90s with Mike Westhoff, or what he was with the Dolphins and the Jets, but that's how the scheme is. That's how the plays work. You go with intermediate passes first. That would be your first read. Then short passes as your second. Then your deep shots if you have time. The West Coast type of offense and the passing attack is a timing and anticipated passing attack. If you have your first read open in the intermediate game, most of the time you do. Look at Joe Montana's 49ers. Look at, the 49ers now as well. You look at Sean McVay's Rams. You look at the Vikings now. You see the intermediate passes are always the first ones open because they are schemed to get open. And intermediate passes are in between 10 to 20 yard lines. Anything over 20 yards is downfield passing game. So a chunk of that playbook is going to be intermediate passes. Now, if Westhoff is saying he wasn't impressed with the downfield game, what I know and what I've been told, there were at least 5 down the field throws that you can count on one finger that Tua completed. 2 of them were 50 and 60-yard touchdown bombs. The other 3 were between 30 to 40 yards as well that were completed or attempted. That's what I can tell you.
I think it's safe to say Mike Westhoff probably not going to be invited to another practice anytime soon. I think because I kind of put myself into the shoes of the Dolphins PR department. It may have been Dan Marino who invited him out there personally, but even so, like they'd probably be like, Dan, if you want to just like lose Westhoff's invite in the mail next time, like feel free to do that, because it's like it's one thing not to say anything, but to get invited to practice as a VIP and then you shred what you see, like you said, in day 2 of minicamp, you shred that on the radio the next day. I think Mike, they may conveniently lose his invitation card the next time they're holding a practice.
Now, one thing about this downfield passing attack, I don't know if you saw it this morning on Twitter, but Diana Rossini Unloaded basically said the thing about Tua is not his arm strength. It's that his timing anticipation is his weakness. Where in the world did that come from, number one?
She just tweeted that out of the blue?
She said that on ESPN this morning as well. Oh. And if you know Irish Bullfins too on Twitter, the glorious Cuck Mountain. She was put on Cuck Mountain today.
Oh no.
She was put on Cuck Mountain today because we all know this. Tua's elite traits is timing, anticipation, and accuracy. I have no idea where that came from.
Wow. Look who's, man, I miss this dude. I'm happy to see his beautiful face. Big John Stud is with us. Big John, I think
you're a little exaggerated. I'm not that beautiful, bro.
Listen, man, you're more beautiful than Hussam. I can.
Okay. You know what? All right. We'll leave it as it is.
Oh man! And
can I actually tell you a true story real quick?
Yeah.
I was at my house yesterday, and I had a friend. I was watching a video of you, I think it was the video from the day before yesterday. I don't remember what day it was, and she comes in, and she goes, "Who's that?" I was like, "That's Donno. I work with him." Really? Oh my God, he's hot. I go, he has a son, so I mean, I'm pretty sure he's very efficient. So yeah. Maybe I'll shoot you.
I'm 1 for 1. I've only had sex one time, and bingo.
That's what I'm saying. You're efficient. You're 1 for 1. That's what I'm saying.
1 for 1.
Monkeypox gets transmitted through sex. So I think Donno was safe. I think Donno was safe.
I feel great today. That's what I did. Definitely no monkey. That is a fantastic story. That may be the best story ever told on this show. And let me pull up a comment real quick from our guy Brooklyn Rob. I think he wrote this before we even started talking, but he was reacting to the title of the episode, which New Tua, Keyboard Warriors and Twitter Warriors beware. And Brooklyn Rob says, "Mush," talking to me. "We threw you off the Tua train. We left you at the station. No chance we let you back on now. Keep Tua's name out of your mouth." Now, we did start the episode with Mike Westhoff saying some negative things about Tua in the offense, but I made a pledge yesterday, Big John Stud. I made a pledge that I'm not going to rip Tua to shreds. I'm not there's no point during minicamp during the offseason. There's no point in me criticizing Tua because, we're not playing games right now. And I'm trusting that he's getting better. I know he's empowered by the new coaching staff, and I'm happy that he and Mike McDaniel get along very well and that's a good relationship we're seeing building. Tua looks good physically. He sounds great. And Big John Stud, I'm sure you saw what Tua said yesterday, the keyboard warrior, Twitter warrior thing. I love that. One of the reasons why I haven't been fully on board the Tua train over the last couple of years is because he seemed to be a little bit of a pushover with his personality, but we saw some personality yesterday. I got a little bit of that Baker Mayfield swagger.
So basically what you're saying is Tua was too pussy for you to back.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, you know,
Okay.
he just like, he looked like, you know, his way of dealing with stuff. Like, he kind of reminded me of Robert Pattinson in the Twilight movies, like very like sulky all the time. And like, oh, my coach doesn't like me, so I'm going to go play golf today. And I'm not going to say anything in public and talk. Yesterday was awesome. When he unloaded yesterday, that give me more of that, Tua. Give me more of that. I love that personality.
But I mean, maybe it's because he was following orders. Tua's a person, dude, that Nalo, you know, they were, you know, Nalo, Tua is different. Athletes are different. They're not typical people. Some of them are just nuts to be able to do what they do. You know, I was watching a show earlier. Shaquille O'Neal was saying that Kobe Bryant literally was the first one in the gym and the last one out and would literally work out 17 hours a day. That's not normal. Okay?
Right.
Nalo made Tua. Tua is built different, literally. So the fact, look, think of it this way. Nalo made Tua, trained him, then he went to Nick Saban. It took Brian Flores to break Tua. How toxic did Brian Flores have to be for Tua to tell you "fuck you" after a Tennessee game? Think about how bad it had to be for Tua to just tell him off and say you can't talk to people like that.
Yeah.
Tua who wouldn't hurt a butterfly, like he would literally take the butterfly to the hospital and save its life. Okay, think about that.
Where do you take a wounded butterfly? To the vet? Like, can you take him to the actual like Baptist emergency room?
I don't know, but I'm thinking of the most delicate animal and Tua being very careful. So I picked the butterfly. You know, I don't fucking know.
No, that is absolutely perfect. Now, did you hear Big John Stud? If you didn't hear it, we could describe it for you because Hussam and I both listened to it before the show. A guy who I really respect, Mike Westhoff, former longtime Dolphins special teams coordinator, back in the glory days, worked with the Jets. He was most recently with the Saints. He's been out of coaching for the last couple of years. He is older. He was at practice yesterday. I was not at practice, but I got very positive reviews yesterday about the way the offense looked, about the way Tua looked. But then I was listening to Mike Westhoff this morning, who watched practice yesterday. He was on with Joe Rose, and he torched the offense. He said it was a terrible display of offensive football. No one was in the right formations. Now, we know that they are installing, and hopefully Mike knows that as well. He wasn't impressed with the passing game. He basically tore everybody to shreds on the offense. But that goes against, and I respect Westhoff's opinion, of course, but it goes against everything I've been hearing about what's going on down there.
Before I answer your question, are you watching Hussam's screen? Are you
no,
looking
what was
at
happening?
Hussam?
No.
Dude, is your fan having a mental breakdown or is it me, bro? Are you looking at your fan?
It's on a high setting.
So what? So like it goes one way and then it stops and it goes the other?
You know what that is? Because I saw that happening earlier. It's lag. It's probably lag.
Oh,
it's lag
okay.
on his end where sometimes it looks like it's going backwards. And I thought maybe I shouldn't have taken the mushrooms before the show. I should wait till after.
Yo, I'm talking to you and I'm staring at the fan going, what the fuck's up with that fan, dude?
I was thinking, you know, Big John, I was thinking, oh my God, this is literally Stranger Things happening right now in real life. I'm like, I need to fucking get out of my room and bolt.
Yeah.
but Mike, I just think, look, I'm not going to put much stock into what Mike Westhoff is saying. The motherfucker hasn't been in football in the last 40 years, and if he went to go see them throw, I guarantee you he's not used to the passing offense, or he's not used to motion on every play.
He was around before the forward pass.
Yeah. The last time you saw a forward pass, it was Marino, but Marino hasn't been around. You know, it's going to be 30 years, you know, give or take. So I can care less. I prefer to believe what Mike McDaniel, you know, is selling.
That's
I mean, considering the fact that their projected offensive line is Armstead and it's Armstead at left tackle, right tackle Austin Jackson, Hunt, Eichenberg, and now they're putting the left guard at center.
Do you like that idea, by the way? And listen, I guess I have to trust the coaching staff, but Connor Williams' best position is left guard. Go ahead.
I'm going to say this. The staff they have assembled, honestly, they have more experience in that staff from coach to even Sam Madison. Okay, at the end of the coaching staff, they have more offensive credibility than anybody we've had coaching football for the last 3 years of Dolphins. If they think that that's the way to go, I have to give Mike McDaniel a chance to prove me wrong. I have to believe what he's showing me. And everybody who was complaining about the Dolphins not getting Deshaun Watson, they just added another criminal. Another woman just came out and said that he touched her in places.
24. We're up to 24 now, right? And I see you guys. I'm sure saw the reports that they're expecting him to be suspended all of next year.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. But my question is this: if we would have traded for Deshaun Watson, not only would we not have him for a year, if that's what it goes down to, you wouldn't have had Tyreek Hill either.
That's a good point. That's an excellent point. Yeah, I mean, listen, there was a certain point last season when I came to the realization that even with me doubting Tua, I came to the realization that even if Tua isn't the answer, I didn't think Deshaun Watson was either. And things have only gotten worse at that point. Things have only got – now, he was cleared of the criminal stuff, which is it's good for him. He's not going to go to prison. But, still his reputation and his career, because he's going to be suspended for a hefty amount of time, is taking a big hit with all this stuff coming out.
Let me ask you just one question. Even though he's not going to go to jail for criminal charges, think about this. Most people go their entire life without getting 10 massages in their lifetime.
Right. I can count. I think I've gotten 5 massages in my entire life. Zero happy endings, by the way. Zero. Well, actually, you know what? Never mind. Keep talking.
Oh, Luca. Now we know what happened. All right. So what I'm saying is this guy had 44 different women. Because, he had 24 that are accusing him. But then he had 20 who they said, well, he was a good guy.
Right.
There's a problem there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not normal. I mean, at the very least, the guy's a creep. Even if he's not a criminal, he's a creep, right? I think we can all agree on that.
I think there's more of it. It's not just being a 26, 27-year-old young guy and like chasing tail. There seems to be an issue there. He may even be a sex addict. That's fine. But there's an issue. People are acting like, well, he's just young and he wants to have fun. No, there's a problem there.
Yeah.
And especially when you're getting the massage women off of Instagram. You know half the women ain't no massage therapists.
Right.
I'm a massage therapist. I know things you got to go through to do that. I don't even know if you knew that.
I mean, I know Instagram isn't the place.
I'm a certified massage therapist. Most people don't know that. I don't even know if
I
you
did
knew
know that about you. Yeah, I did. I did know that about you.
Most people don't know that. So when they talked about massage therapists, and I'm like, that is so much bullshit because I know what goes on that people don't know. All the paperwork you supposedly have to fill out, this, that, and the other, and the third if you're going to do it properly. So, I don't think so.
Have you ever thought about marketing yourself on Instagram and maybe showing a little leg?
I hear feet pics go hard these days, Big John.
People pay for those, man.
Yeah, you should put it on Reddit, man.
This guy
get like an OnlyFans or a Fansly for just your feet.
So you think I got clientele? So you think if I take pictures of my feet, start painting my toenails, and put them on OnlyFans, I get clients? You guys are full of it, man.
Or what you can do is take photos of other people's legs and feet and post them, and then you get money. You give them like a 10% share of it.
Oh, with their consent, though, right? Like we're not talking.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
With their
no.
Of course, with their consent, Donno.
Yeah, I was just making sure we get that out there.
No, but Deshaun Watson did it without their consent, and he actually got paid $260 million for doing incorrect shit.
Yeah,
he got rewarded for being an asshole.
Yep. The third leg.
I love how this show is becoming more and more unfiltered. Like I absolutely
it's every time I'm on, since when he likes how I am when I talk, so he just tells me no. And I'm like, are you sure you want me to say that Deshaun Watson's a fucking idiot? Because I'll say it just like that, you know? And
I want it done unfiltered. Yeah.
And every time I come on the show, one way or the other, it goes off the rail. I don't know if you saw the one show he had with me, and I brought up the punter, and the show fucking exploded.
Ariza.
The punter, we literally spoke about punting for 30 minutes. It was amazing.
Most people loved it. Like the people, when you talk about a punter for 30 minutes, very polarizing, I find. Most of the people loved it. Some people were like, what is this crap? I didn't come in here for this. You can't be serious about drafting a punter. Oh, this is terrible.
That's because those people don't understand that when you're kicking from your own end zone and you still put the ball on the other 5-yard line on the other side, that you can kick the ball 90 yards, which he does regularly.
Yeah.
Which is why, believe it or not, I'm still fucking pissed off that my two favorite players went to the Bills.
Thing is though, and here's one thing about Matt Ariza. The thing is, why would you draft a punter who was in college one of the worst in touchbacks and putting it into other people's end zones? Now, I get the fact if you are a struggling offense, you want a punter that can boom it. But the Bills, the thing is with the Bills can actually score with their offense. The fact that they drafted Ariza, a punter who has had a hard time with hang time, touchbacks, and putting it within
what are you talking about hang time? The ball was in the air for 7 seconds. Yeah, what do you want it to have, helium?
You got to show me that video. You got to show me that video, but from what I've seen, from what I've scouted, from what I've heard, I would have taken Jordan Stout first over Matt Ariza.
Okay, first of all, bro, listen. Did it ever occur to you guys that maybe they took him to take him away from us because they knew we wanted him? First of all, that's one. 2, they took my favorite player. I was beating the floor for James Cook for I don't know how many months.
You were.
And they took James Cook too. Yep. They couldn't just take one. They took them both. Okay? And as much as I love the Dolphin defense, think about this. Who the fuck is going to cover James Cook one-on-one in the backfield? Jerome Baker can't cover. All right? We all know Jerome Baker can't cover. We all know they brought back the other middle linebacker. He's a thumper. He can't cover shit either.
Who?
Okay? Who did we bring back, bro? Who was the one that said,
Landon Roberts.
But you know who can cover? You know who can cover?
Who?
Shannington, 4th round pick. Javon Holland, Brandon Jones, Eric Rowe.
Okay, so you're literally going to go one-on-one across the board and bring a safety to have to cover a running back because your linebackers can't do shit. So they're on the field for no reason. That's what you're telling me.
Wasn't a linebacker. Baker's gotten much better in coverage from 2020 compared to last season.
But you really are a Jerome Baker fan.
Tyndall was asked to cover in Georgia, and we know how that Georgia defense was. The thing is, though, Channing Tyndall, even though with the least amount of snaps he played, he was a much better linebacker compared to Nakobe Dean and Quay Walker. Quay Walker was drafted first round to the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers draft athleticism mainly. Nakobe Dean had shoulder issues his time at Georgia and played behind big-ass defensive linemen in that Georgia defensive line. Thing with Channing Tyndall is he's technically sound. His tackling is on par with one of the best linebackers in the NFL today with Bobby Wagner as well. His tackling will get him onto the field sooner than later. So don't lose hope. Don't lose hope in the linebacker.
I'm not losing hope. I'm just being realistic. Look, from what I've seen, Jerome Baker can't cover my grandmother, and she's a statue. She'll still be open. Okay? He leads. Let's be realistic here, okay? I always hear Jerome Baker led the Dolphins in tackles. Yes. After the line of scrimmage.
Right. Somebody's got to.
After the first down, he tackles them.
Yep.
He does lead the team in tackles, but they're not effective tackles. If they need 3 yards and he gives up 7 and he tackles fantastic, you tackled the guy. You still get him a first down. And he does that all the time. He never stops the guy behind the line of scrimmage, which is why they moved him to the edge, because he can't cover for shit. Tom Brady picked on him over and over and over and over last year against Tampa Bay. All day they picked on Jerome Baker. Now, if you're going to tell me he got better, I hope you're right. Just like I hope Boston Jackson has been doing sumo exercises to block.
That would be good. Hey, I want to, because I got to wrap in a few minutes. And Big John Stud, somebody pointed out you're wearing the Miami Heat White Hot style polo shirt today. I haven't, at least not on the air. I did speak to you off the air about that.
Oh, I actually have the Miami Heat turtleneck underneath a white shirt, but I guess it pops up.
Now, you have a very strong opinion on the attempted game winner by Jimmy Butler with 18 seconds to go in Game 7. Did you think were you okay with the shot that he took, the pull-up 3, or would you have drawn it up differently?
I would have gone at Al Horford, and not because. I mean, if he would have made it, of course he's going to be the hero or the GOAT one way or the other. Yeah. And I know Jimmy went for the kill shot, but I would have gone to the basket. You have Al Horford. There was Al Horford literally standing in the paint, literally already halfway in the paint. You have 18 seconds. To me, you're at home. You tie the game and you go to overtime. I don't care if you got to go timeout 3 times right after over. Like, the quarter starts, Miami get the ball, timeout. I don't care if you got to call 4 consecutive timeouts to give Jimmy 6 minutes of rest. Yeah, I don't care. If I'm at home, you've been behind the whole game. You're down by 2. You get the ball with 21 seconds. He's racing down the middle of the floor. And I think it was Matt Strus was in the left corner.
He was.
If he drives to the basket, there's a good possibility that the corner defender is going to come help Al Horford, and you still get the 3-point shot. But I'd rather have Matt Strus shoot the 3 than Jimmy Butler.
I don't agree, not in that moment. Because if Jimmy kicked it out to Max and Max missed the shot, Jimmy would get crucified. You're the superstar.
That's why I would have gone to the basket. Well, at the end of the day, I still would have rather go to the basket.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can see that. See that to me, I think that's a better option than giving it to Strus.
Nobody. But I'm just giving you what the play would have been because I remember Strus being in the corner.
Yep.
So if he drives to the basket, there's a possibility the defender comes over to help Al Horford, and he gets him in the corner for a 3. And at the end of the day, that would be the play you would expect Jimmy to make. Jimmy says, "I always play the right way." If you're going to kick the ball out, from everybody on the floor at that moment, I think it was Bam, it was Jimmy, it was Max, it was Kyle Lowry, and it was Oladipo. Out of those 5 men on the floor, the only one that I want shooting that 3-point shot is Max Strus. And if it wasn't for Max Strus making that incredible 3, you wouldn't have been down by 2.
That's true.
So you need to go to in my opinion, you need to go to the basket. Because that's what you would. I expected Jimmy to go to the basket. I think everybody on the panel right now expected Jimmy to go to the basket. You're driving the ball. You have the ball. You're driving on the floor. There's nobody in the middle of the court. They're literally exhausted. You're driving. You take the ball out of Horford. You draw a foul.
Yep.
You try to tie the game, and you play for overtime. If they're gonna go one-on-one, you know what they're gonna do. They're gonna give the ball to Jason Tatum, or they're gonna give the ball to Jaylen Brown, and they're gonna go one-on-one. You know what they're gonna do. It ain't like we don't know what they're gonna do. So
Hey,
I'd rather do that. If I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose with my defense. I'm not gonna jump a shot like that. I'll play for overtime. It's already bad enough. It's already bad enough. You don't have Tyler Hero.
Yeah,
That's
right.
To me. That's the reason why we lost the series. We didn't have anybody else to score off the bench outside because Tyler Hero was gone. You're literally missing your second best scorer on the team because it was Jimmy, Tyler, and Bam in that order. So, and I'm not. I mean, I don't know what you think. I don't think Victor Oladipo helped himself for next season being on the Miami Heat.
I think he did. I think he had a good enough playoff run that I'm not guaranteeing. I'm not guaranteeing he comes back, but
he's gonna have some suitors in free.
He's gonna have some
suitors.
Yeah,
but he's not gonna have the kind of money he thinks he's gonna have. And at the end of the day,
$20 million or anything like that.
In game seven, you were on the floor for 33 minutes. How many points did he score? I don't have the box score in front of me, but he didn't do much for 33 minutes.
The thing is, Victor Oladipo did more with his defense than he did scoring. I
agree.
If he was hitting his shots, we could have won Game 7 if he was hitting shots. But that can be said for Bam the entire series. Could have been said for Strus the entire series. Could have been said for Lowry the entire series. Could have been said for Tucker the entire series as well.
I agree. I mean, I'm just saying, as far as what he had to go through, like I was listening to the Big O earlier today, and he was talking. I forgot to who right now, and they were saying it. He's probably going to be the 7th or 8th guy on the bench. Mm-hmm. Are you okay with coming back and being a bench guy? I don't think he does want to be a bench guy. I think he wants to be a volume scorer, in my opinion. I don't think he thought. See, we all thought he was going to be a starter before he got injured and had to come back from rehab. When we first got him in the trade, he was in the starting lineup.
Yep.
I don't know what he's going to do now.
Well,
because from what I understand, doesn't Tyler want to start next season? I think I read that.
I'll say this: if Oladipo does come back like his old self, then Miami can push out a guy like Duncan and Hero and maybe somebody else out in trade package to get a better big name to complement Jimmy's scoring with Oladipo's defense as well. You could package Hero, you could package Duncan, you could package.
That's the only guy I'm not trading, bro. I'll trade anybody you want on the team outside of Jimmy and Tyler. There's no way I'm giving you Tyler Hero, Bam, or Jimmy. You can take everybody else.
I would give up Tyler 15 for the right piece. Like if Tyler can help me get Donovan Mitchell, I'm driving him to the airport.
No, you bring Donovan Mitchell and keep Tyler here. So when Donovan sits down, put him in as a 6-man.
You got nothing to trade if you don't trade Tyler.
Yes, you do. You got Duncan Robinson with the biggest contract in history.
Nobody wants Duncan Robinson. I mean, somebody might take Duncan Robinson if he's an add-on to Tyler Hero, but nobody's just going to take Duncan.
Dude, there's no way I'm giving up Tyler Hero out of everybody there. Because the only piece you have, because at the end, okay, think of it this way. You give up, okay, we trade Tyler Hero, right? Let's say we do. What are you going to do in 2 years? What are you going to do in a year and a half? Kyle Lowry is about to be 40. In like 2 years, he's going to be 40. What are you going to do then?
That's not good.
Trade a guy, you draft another guy when you have no draft picks? What are you going to do?
I got to run. I got to run in a couple minutes, but I want to talk about some of our partners here. BetUS.com. Guys, I did win some money on BetUS.com yesterday. Taiwanese basketball once again. I am 2-0 betting Taiwanese basketball, and I made a little money playing blackjack. People forget they have a full casino at BetUS.com. It's not just a sports book. The sports book is fantastic. Fully operational in Florida. You can use BetUS in Florida from your mobile phone, from your laptop. You can also play blackjack and table games for real money. So I made some money playing blackjack. I made some money in Taiwanese basketball in the morning. I did, however, mush the Golden State Warriors. I mean, third quarter, I'm already counting my winnings. I had Golden State -4 yesterday. They're up by 12 heading into the fourth. I'm counting my money, and then Boston blows them out. It was crazy. I also have Golden State -150 for the series. Still could happen. I've also got Steph Curry even money at Finals MVP. Still could happen, but it's not looking so good. But you know what, guys? You're going to win a lot of bets. You're going to lose some. You're going to have a lot of fun at BetUS.com. It really does enhance these games and make them more interesting. So why don't you sign up today and use our code 5RSN125. They're going to give you a 125% sign-up bonus with our code 5RSN125. Live betting is awesome. I'm glad I didn't live bet the Warriors heading into the fourth quarter in addition to the open pregame bet that I already had, because I would have been in real trouble. But when I live bet Taiwanese basketball, I am absolutely money, my friends. 5RSN125 is the code. They're going to give you a 125% sign-up bonus. You bet, you win, you get paid. BetUS.com. We also have an official daily fantasy sports provider. Hey, you can kind of see me over here. Hey, PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the greatest daily fantasy sports service. Guys, it combines my love for parlays and daily fantasy. You simply select 2, 3, 4 players, predict if they're going to go over or under their fantasy projections, and you win real money, just like that gigantic $5 bill that Hussam has there. Win real money at PrizePicks, PrizePicks.com, or the PrizePicks mobile app. It takes under 60 seconds to make your selections. I love that you can go cross-league and cross-sport, right? You want to select a couple basketball players, a couple of hockey players. You can mix and match with your selections and win real cash. And when you sign up at PrizePicks.com, make sure you use our code 5. That's FIVE. Use our code 5, and they're going to match your first deposit 100% up to $100. PrizePicks.com, PrizePicks mobile app. Use our code 5. PrizePicks truly is daily fantasy simplified. Big John, you like my Taiwanese basketball? It's the best because when I wake up at like 7:30 in the morning, they're playing, and I go on to the BetUS website, and I'll see that like Taiwan Power Company leads like the Ho Chi Minh Warriors like 42-35, and I'll say I think Power Company is going to hold on and win this game by at least 5. I live bet it, and I'm 2-0. I'm 2-0. It's the best thing in the world.
So, but what happens is if you would have live bet that Warriors game, you would have been. Hopefully, they're not videotaping you because you would have been cussing out your TV, your son, throwing the controller. You would have cussed out Hussam, me, and everybody else. Put it this way, I'm not gonna bullshit. I was watching the game. I fell asleep during the first half. The Warriors were winning. I woke up real quick in the third quarter. The Warriors were winning. I fell asleep real quick. I woke up at the end of the game, and I go, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, that was my reaction, too. But Big John Stud.
I look up, and I'm like, I actually woke up and saw the pass that they threw to that's when I woke up and I look up, they were throwing a pass to Klay Thompson for a layup. There was like a minute left, and I go, what the hell just happened? I was only out for 7 minutes.
It's crazy.
Jesus Christ. 40 points?
When we're talking, when you guys were talking about Duncan Robinson and Jimmy, found this great thing from StatViews. Over the time in the last 3 years of the playoffs, Jimmy Butler is 4th in minutes played, 3rd in total points, 1st in total steals, 5th in total assists, 1st in free throws made. And somehow Duncan Robinson, who Heat Twitter has already traded away for a bag of corn nuts, is 7th and 3-pointers made in the playoffs over the last 3 years, and he hasn't even played in this year's playoffs that much. Meanwhile, Bam Adebayo with the second most rebounds over this same time frame as well, just behind Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the Miami Heat have the second most playoff wins over the last 3 years.
That's awesome.
I agree. We never
right
said that he were good. You guys are telling me that you want to trade Tyler Hero. I'm telling you, you're out of your fucking mind.
Saying if it gets us Donovan Mitchell, I'm driving him to the airport.
Por la cultura, baby. That's what it is.
Shit about Tua. You were saying that you would trade Tua for Deshaun Watson, and look now.
I mean, I wouldn't trade him for Deshaun Watson. I'd still trade him for a number of different quarterbacks, though. I would trade him for like 20 different quarterbacks if we're being honest.
He would trade Tua Tagovailoa for Davis Mills. That's who Donno would trade.
They put up the identical stats. I mean, to me, it seems like a like for like trade, right? I mean, it's just
you guys
Speaking of Tua and stats, yeah, Alex, can I share what I told you about through Twitter? What I tweeted out this morning.
Yeah. Tell me, and then we'll end the episode on that note.
So we know how Tua Tagovailoa is highly regarded as this RPO style quarterback, right, Big John?
Time out real quick before you get to that. Did you see what he said in Men's Health?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
About the offense.
I kept telling Donno privately, I kept telling Donno privately, yo, they're telling me they're not letting him throw the ball on the field. Donno's like, are you kidding me? Dude, that's what they told me. And it came out yesterday. So go ahead. RPO, yes, one read quarterback, even though they're making him one.
So one thing I found which absolutely shocked me is the fact that Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes have more pass attempts in RPOs, and they have more plays in RPO compared to Tua Tagovailoa. Meanwhile, Tua Tagovailoa has the most passing yards in RPO. And the fact of the matter is, when we're talking about play action passes, a lot of these talking heads in football say, oh, play action passes, that's more gimmicky, buys a lot of time on the field for the quarterbacks to make those throws. We look at pure passing situations. All right, so let's look at play action, right? The quarterback with the most play action pass attempts, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, silence your phone, fool.
Yeah, I know.
That happens sometimes.
That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, and who's the asshole with the least amount of time to throw? Tua.
Yep, that's true. Because his offensive linemen didn't want to protect him. They don't like him.
I hope Tua didn't buy Jesse Davis anything but a bus ticket out of town. Please.
All right, guys. I will see y'all.
See you, sir. All right, I'm out as well. Big John Stud, thank you so much. And I can tell people where to find Husa. I think that phone call may have been important. You can find Husam Patel at the Dolphins ATB network and on 5reasonsports.com. What about you, Big John Stud? Where can people find you?
They can find me right there on the screen.
Beautiful. Big John Stud 136. Thank you, sir.
Finally, at least you can't say I didn't come on your show, man. It's been a while.
Man, I took the blame for it. I was saying, or I might have said this off air to Husam, or I can't remember if I said it on air. I've been so disorganized lately. We've had conversations about like the days you can come on, and then the days you can't come on, and then I'll invite you the days you can't come on. And so it's like I need to keep a calendar or something, man. But I don't believe it. I don't believe in time. I don't believe in calendars. I don't believe in anything. I live my life, man.
I know. Yeah. I got you.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you so much to everybody in the live chat. We will talk to you guys again on Monday, 2:00 or 2:30 on another episode of Donno Daily on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. See ya.
All right, sir. Stay safe.